Righto guys, trade recap from last night's Thursday New York AM session. So coming into the day, I'm just going to take ES off the chart. We don't need to watch that at all. I did not use any SMTs yesterday. So we're clearly bearish. If I go on the 4 hour, we had a 4 hour fair value gap right here. And we had a tiny 4 hour gap down here. So that's what I was watching because off market open, we were super bearish. And on the 5 minute, I was waiting for basically a displacement, an inverse of this candle. Now on open, we did not get an entry at all. It just ripped to the downside and we did not get any entries. The only possible entry that I had was this one right here. But sadly, to this 4 hour gap. But we did not get entry to this because I wanted to wait for the candle closure. And I do not long off the low. I'm short off the low, sorry. So didn't get an entry into that there, which is fine. And then at this point in time, we had left open our data highs, which was right here. So data highs was inside this candle here. So, but I'm just gonna mark out the actual high of that range. So that was 8:30 news high, was here. And that was left open. There was also a 5 minute unmitigated gap here. So this was a good draw on liquidity because as we know, we can't just keep dumping. We have to retrace into something. And then if I skip a couple of candles, we have a 5 minute bearish FVG right here. So if we go here, bearish FVG, and after news, we come back through and we inverse this first presented gap. So this to me at this time, this was super bullish and I was 100% on this data high getting taken, especially after seeing this V shape right here. Like this is, we saw this last week, very obvious. And yeah, so this was the first presented trade here. I didn't take this on this entry here. I waited a little bit more just because there was a 5 minute up here and I'm gonna skip. So we displaced again. And then at this point, I was like, we're gonna 100% take this high. So on this retracement leg right here, inside this large 1 minute gap that I teach all to my students, you can take a large 1 minute gap. This is a bullish FEG. I took the entry off this. Inside this candle, I think it was around the 602 mark. Stops below a low, take profit was at data highs. So about there. And yeah, I rode this trade out in 6 minutes. So we'll skip this through. And we took full TP at the data high. I went break even at this point right there. Whoa, trading views, super laggy. But yeah, so that was my trade from last night. I'll show you on Alpha. So this is the trade here. Yeah, I took it just at that candle high there and took it to the high. And that's how I made 1184 Australian dollars last night trading the Nasdaq. This is a super tricky day because I wonder if we had an SMT at this low just for analysis purpose. Let's have a look. Wow. Oh, I thought that was there for a second. Okay, we did not have an SMT at the low. That would have been really interesting if ES made a lower low right here. That would have been really interesting. But yeah, so that was the trade setup that I took. I did have a trade setup that I did want to take here to this 4 hour gap. So I think wherever I was going to take a trade today, I was always going to win the trade. But it just depends on, wading through price action and getting, the delivery that you're wanting to get and being patient and waiting for a retracement. I do want to point out in such a fast delivery of a market right here. So in this whole leg, if you go on the 5 minute here, this is a super fast delivery. So, and this is the third time this has happened recently. When there's a data high, so 8:30 data high like this last week, 5 minute retracements don't happen. I haven't seen a 5 minute retracement yet on a data high. It's often enough a 1 minute retracement is all you get. So what did we get? We didn't get, I was actually watching this in retracement here. We didn't get it. I watched this one here, but there was no fair value gap in that leg. That's why this one is the one I took. And yeah, pretty simple coming into the day. And yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.